Hi and welcome back. We're just about to head into another episode of Supernatural. Just before we get into that, I hope everyone is safe and sound amidst what's going on with COVID 19. In where I am, by tomorrow, everything will be in lockdown. Churches are locked down, schools, games, theatres, everywhere is in lockdown starting from tomorrow for us. So I hope all of you are safe and sound, that you're taking precautions such as washing your hands, avoiding large groups of people, and doing everything you can to make sure that you, your family, and anyone who's at risk is safe. Because it's spreading quite fast. Europe has now surpassed China in cases, so just make sure that you do at least on the side of caution. And maybe this is the time when you're in lockdown, I don't know, learn the guitar, piano, learn a language. I need to get back into learning the languages I was learning, and this is a great opportunity for me to do that. I also hope that I just hope everyone stays safe. So we're just going to get straight into this episode, and hopefully just ease a little bit of the stress away from you from watching me try to figure out what is going to happen in this episode. Sororities.
I don't know if this is really me.
You never know, try it.
The hatchet's buried somewhere in there. Okay. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. There's nothing you wouldn't do.
Exactly.
It's true. I didn't know any better. I think you brought me here on purpose.
What? I'm offended.
Yeah, I'm sure. No.
It's okay.
That would. So it's a spirit. You ain't gonna escape.
Rick? Rick, where are you?
Dead. Yep.
Minus plates for traffic violations.
They're doing it again here.
Wants to be known.
It's very grey and dull, the lighting.
It's a news item. There could be nothing at all. One freaked out witness who didn't see anything doesn't mean it's the invisible man. But what if it is?
What about it? Yeah.
Dad will check it out.
To be honest, they look young enough. So, you know, they always cast people who are supposed to be college students who are usually about 25 to 30.
Your roommates. Rich was a good guy. Rich.
He was a bit, you know, rapey.
Lord, you saw it.
That's why she didn't answer her dad's call.
The young man who perished.
The Lord is looking at
And
you.
my personal prayers of thanks
While
are
you
as
get
well,
busy.
because I believe he died particularly tragic. A life unlived is the saddest.
Oh, and there. Okay, so this is going to be more Sam-centric.
So please, let us pray.
But her dad's also the Reverend. You would think not to talk about these type of things around any of the church people.
It's so nice to find young people who are open to the Lord's message.
Yeah, not those two.
We're new with. I think she's hot too. No, man. And listen to this. She heard scratching on the roof. Found the bloody body suspended upside.
It's going back to 1851.
Oh.
Thanks. Looks like he was so angry over the red light district in town that one night he killed 13 prostitutes.
In one night.
Right here. Some of the deceased were found in their beds, sheets soaked with blood.
I'm an adult.
Yeah, you should let her live her life, otherwise she's gonna find means to do even worse things just to spite you. Is it after her? But she's pure from what they were showing.
Rock salt.
Ah, there we go.
Salt being a spirit deterrent. Yeah.
Get it out of your bellies. Come on, do it. He had the gun.
He had the gun. Oh.
I said that you were hunting ghosts and spirits are repelled by rocks. So, typical Hell Week prank. He believes.
Smart.
Well, you look like a dumbass pledge. I just want to take her home. I understand, Reverend.
But you
She's not
can't.
connected to tumors,
She's,
like
yeah,
you
she's
or
the main suspect now.
Listen.
This really is a mix of the urban legends placed in with the movie and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
See a naked pillow fight? Nah.
I wonder if she's got an item of the Hookman's. And also, how did no one pick up on the scrapings against the wall?
Does that look familiar to you?
They're all still partying, someone was murdered. It's like, let's just carry on.
Awesome. Which wasn't really my experience. For murder. 1967, seminarian held a hippie rampage. There's a pattern here.
He's gonna stay and party. Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna go see if I can find that unmarked grave.
Very reminiscent of Friday the 13th, early 80s slasher movies here. I mean, it's too early for the spirit to be vanquished, so I wonder what's going to happen.
I saw you from upstairs.
So is this going to be an episode to help Sam let go of Jess, to move on? There's got to be more to it than just this.
Have faith. What does he know about faith?
Big what?
I heard you guys fighting before.
Is she going to try and kiss him? Yep. She's going to make a move.
I'll come in when I'm ready.
Ooh! So it latches onto her vengefulness.
Lori's dad came out, and then he appeared. Oh, it's alright. I'm with him. That's my brother. Hey, brother!
Don't know what name to say.
She's upset about the immorality of it. She told me she was raised to believe if you do something wrong, you get punished. Okay, so she's complicit. Did you get the hug? The hook?
There was no hook there.
What was the murder weapon?
It's interesting that they have to use the library, and that everything's not just on Google readily available for them.
Hey. Stay out of her underwear, boy.
Is that the hook? Man.
Lori.
What are you doing here?
What is it?
I've been trying to understand what's been happening.
See, this is the problem. She's living with guilt because it's been ingrained in her for someone who's immoral to be punished. See? It's a spirit that can appear anywhere. Yeah, it's after her.
You okay?
Now you're gonna notice it.
Where'd you get that chain?
My father gave it to me.
Where'd your dad get it?
He said it was a church heirloom. He gave it to me when I started
And
school.
it's silver.
Yes!
There we go. There we go.
Listen, you and your brother. Oh, don't worry, we're leaving town.
He's worried about his brother. And also Dean's probably wondering why he didn't kiss her. That was episode 7 of Supernatural. for me, the show is getting better and better how they want to establish the laws of the show and what it means. I remember this legend very well. This is something that as a kid we used to tell one another as kids. Just remember, I don't remember where I heard it from or who I heard it from, but I remember being quite young when I first heard about the Hookman. And then obviously you see movies. I mentioned repeatedly throughout the movie Urban Legend. That took me about 5 years to actually watch the whole way through because every single time it came on TV or I was at someone's house, I fell asleep. Always, usually about a third of the way through. It was just nice because this was finally more of a Sam-centric episode, and we knew it was going to be a Sam episode as soon as it had an establishing shot between him and Laurie to show that there was a connection. And we needed to see this for Sam because he's starting to let go of his guilt for Jess. I don't think it will fully go away. It never can go away when you lose someone you love, especially when we found out in the episode before that he'd been having dreams for a few weeks before that she was going to die. But then he had someone he could relate to, someone that could relate to him about people dying around them and feeling as if they're cursed. And I knew it had to be that cross that Laurie was wearing because they highlighted that right at the beginning. And also, why would Jacob come and start killing if you burned his bones? And I like the establishing law that they're building up in this. So it's something that I can pick up on and remember as it goes along. And they seem to be also running with laws that are quite well known throughout the world. And they're from different regions as well because we've had now different types of spirits, supernatural creatures, even from, I would guess, different countries so far. Because the Wendigo was an example of, is it South American law, that one? I'm not particularly sure. I just liked what this episode was representing. It was religion, but it was looking at it from, I guess, two sides, which is the hypocrisy that people of the church can have. Because her father was preaching about people being immoral and then he's having an affair. But also we got Laurie who wanted to kind of escape that rigid, claustrophobic way her father ruled her life, but also hold on to her religion because, as we found out, when she thought someone was immoral, they died. We saw that the guy she was seeing was quite forceful. I mean, if she had not said no, would he have raped her? Because he was not looking at someone who was going to take no for an answer. Then her friend wanted her to go and drink, even though she just wanted to stay in. And the guy she was seeing just died, but her friend didn't seem to care. Then the dad was preaching about immorality when he himself was immoral. I mean, no one is free from sin. That's what I believe. If you want to be free from that, I don't think you ever can. You can pray, you can absolve yourself, but we, just as human beings by nature, are sinful creatures. I grew up in religion, so I can attest to it not working fully on me, but I have no problem with someone being religious. It's how you live your life, really. I also like how this was shot. This was shot, again, it's a very dark, grainy life. The world around them isn't bright and happy. It's quite dull, dark. And it's something that really feels very based in reality. And that's what is making this season better for me as well, is the cinematography. Because it makes it seem real. They're fighting the supernatural. It's not going to be all light colours and all bright. And that's just kind of their world. I do like that it's very reminiscent of... This was definitely a slasher genre episode. It was basing itself on slasher movies. You got the highlight from what they were doing. It's very reminiscent of the Urban Legend, and then incorporating the Hookman from the movie I mentioned before, And I Know What You Did Last Summer. And it played really well to it because there was a lot. It was very creepy for an episode, and there was a nice couple of jump scares that really they should be obvious, but I think they were nicely incorporated. And the way the Hookman Jacob died, I thought that was really nice. It almost like the burning of a piece of paper. And, you realise just how far technology has come, and I can imagine what it's like now. Well, they've just filmed their last season, how much better it would have got, just what you can do. For me, yeah, Supernatural is starting to, I think, find its feet. It's starting to pick up on its laws, its fables. The actors are doing a great job. And the characters, finally, Sam isn't so, I'm the good guy, I don't have that much of a secret, when we know he does have a very dark past and secret. It also just highlighted that even Dean, who is the playboy, I guess, of the two, the bachelor, was willing to sacrifice a bit of flirting to actually stop a spirit. Where you would expect him to want to just flirt and drink and party, whereas Sam's the opposite. But not everyone is, it's just not white and black, everyone has shades of grey. And we're starting to see those shades come to light. And I'm really intrigued of where they're going to go, because it's only these two characters, so really and truly episodes will probably switch between focusing on them and then hopefully focusing a bit more on a character in the episode. Because it seems that every time there's a woman involved in this, they've got to get the two main guys to have feelings for one of them. And I'd like for them to break away from that, so that we can just get an episode kind of focused on trying to save people. I would give this episode... See, I'm going to have to revise my rankings for these episodes, because I think this was... For me, I enjoyed this the most. So I'm gonna have to give this a 7.5. I do think that's a bit too high, but that means I need to drop other episodes down. So I hope you all stay safe. Wash your hands. Isolate yourself. And then we will be back with episode 8 next week.